Today on the Diz List, we discuss the top 5 things we want to see in Villains Land.
Welcome to the Diz List, the podcast that lists everything in Walt Disney World. I'm Nick.
And I'm Rob, and today we're going to discuss Villains Land. I figured that was appropriate for our last episode before Halloween, depending on when you're listening to this.
Yeah.
We're coming up on Halloween, and we talked about it at work the other day, and I said, hey, let's talk about Villains Land. I'm
agree,
excited
yeah.
about it. I don't think about it enough because they don't really give us too much.
Yeah.
But I have 5 things that I would really like to see. You said you have some surprises. I have maybe one or two things that I thought, hey, Disney's forgetting this. Let's look at this.
I have some stuff that is, I'm thinking, not going to be on your list, and I'm thinking not going to be on listeners' list until they hear me say it.
Yeah.
It's stuff that goes forgotten, and it's stuff I've never said before. So,
Well, we know Disney listens because they did our rock and roller coaster idea.
They fixed the faces on Frozen.
Yeah.
And then they also announced something we've talked about before, too, this week.
Yeah.
What'd they announce, Rob?
Oh, Soarin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to lead the show. We don't have a ton of news, but I wanted to just kind of land on this a little bit. We have been very vocal through our podcast through the years on how we feel Disney needs to be a little bit more, I guess we'll say, flexible with the different movies and attractions. So let's start here. Let's start with Star Tours. Star Tours, they do the best job with Star Tours because they're constantly rotating new things through there.
Agreed.
And that's expensive to make because it's all digital
CGI.
animation.
That's not easy.
Right.
Yep.
So what we got this week leading into our topic here is Disney announced they're going to be Soarin' over America, which is for the 250th birthday of our country. And what is it? It's the bicentennial. I heard it the other day. That's probably wrong. That just came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
You're better with that stuff than me.
I think it's bisesquicentennial.
I was close.
I think.
Okay, I
but
was close.
Yeah.
So they decided to do Soarin' over America. And sure, I'm very happy. That's a great idea. But that makes 3 now. So now we have Soarin' around the world. We have Soaring over America, and then
Soaring over California.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and obviously that one is out in California. They do that most often, but they brought that to Epcot. I think it was in the past year.
No, I thought it was a couple years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
Because it wasn't going when I was there, but you had complained a little bit about the transitions.
Yeah, I don't.
Because what was odd,
but I saw it in California. I didn't see it in Florida.
See, I thought you had seen Soarin'. I thought they had done Soarin' around the world out in California for a short time while you were there.
No, it was opposite.
Okay, never mind.
We saw California in California.
Okay.
I didn't like that particular movie as much.
Maybe it was within a year.
But I just, my point is here, there's 3 now. Why not rotate them through on a regular basis? You don't even have to hit shuffle mode. You know, I'm not even looking to like.
No, I want to know what I'm going to see.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't mind when I go to Star Tours because I know I'm not waiting a long time. And if I get the Star Wars underwater Gungan scene, which I almost always get, I can go right back through again and get another one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is something we've been asking for this. We've been saying they need to do more of the shuffle style things with screen-based rides. I'm not saying they need to put that on shuffle like you just said, but I am saying...
No, I actually agree with you.
But I am saying that like now you have this every single year for the month of July, or maybe just the weekend of July 4th, whatever. You put the Soarin' over America. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you?
I'll give you one better.
What?
Every time that they have a festival, it links with a different Soarin' movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. So, Flower and Garden, cool. You're flying over like different parts of like botanical areas and stuff like that.
I would love that.
Yeah, me too. Like and think about the smells they could pump in. Like,
be great.
Food and wine, you could be flying through a kitchen. I don't know. Sorry to do that while you were sipping coffee.
No, that's funny. But but for food and wine, for example,
California,
but it doesn't necessarily have to be connected. See, well, that's actually a really good point too. But Festival of the Holidays. It's a shorter one. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be. It could be world because you're celebrating around the world. Like, I don't think it necessarily has to match. I like your idea of having a match, but I think sometimes that can become forced, But I just think they have this opportunity now. The technology for drones that we have
That's what I'm saying.
Like world class.
Yeah, they're not flying a helicopter anymore. You can fly a drone.
You could.
This.
And and you can put...
You can get 8K footage on a drone now.
You don't even need to put like $1 million camera on there.
No.
You can, but you don't need to.
Right. Yeah. Like it's a no-brainer.
Yes.
And I'm really glad they did it. I was excited more so because it's showing that they're being a little bit more open to the idea of being flexible with it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great thing to see. I was a little bit disappointed that it popped up like the day after our episode dropped because it's how it always works with news and stuff. But it's, then we were itching to come and record this week for it. So,
but it all goes back to money with Disney too, and I just think this is not going to break the bank for them. And I know
it shouldn't.
They've set aside billions of dollars for parks and experiences, but this one's not super expensive.
No,
and this one's going to draw people coming back. And actually, I meant to say this. I was going to put this in my notes too. What this does is it spreads out people even more in that park. I know people are going over, if you think of that area there, you think of sort of, if you're looking at it from a map, it'd be the west side. So we're looking at the Seas Pavilion, the Land Pavilion, and Imagination.
Yeah.
I mean, the main draw right now, in my opinion, in that area is probably Moana, which isn't really part of those pavilions. It's right outside the Living Seas.
I don't know. Soarin' still gets a line.
Living Seas. That was an 80s throwback.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think Soarin' has lines, man. Like, I don't know if I would go so far as to say that Moana's the biggest draw over there, but it certainly is a large draw. I don't think it's a bigger draw than Soarin'.
No, I think I would agree. And that's given the times that I've been there and walked through. It's been busy, but not as many people as in line as Soarin'. So I will give you that. But let's look at it through the lens of Soarin'. It's a bigger attraction. It's something that isn't a roller coaster, but it's sort of thrill ride adjacent because you're up in the air. So right away, people like me, I love those kind of rides, so I gravitate towards that. Now, if there's a little extra magic there, and that is that the ride is a little bit different, there's a new movie, I'm there, and I'm there first.
Yes, I'll be rope dropping it.
Exactly.
I'll 100% be rope dropping it.
Or if they put something in there for, I don't think they would do an individual lightning lane for that, but if they did, I might even purchase it depending on price.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, but like, in a situation where if I was there when it was super, super busy, I mean, I'm going to be there July 7th, I think is our first day. So I could be there anywhere from like the 7th to the 14th.
That's great. You're going to get to see it.
I'm going to get to see it. 100%.
I won't, you will.
I'm 100% going to get to see it. And I'm thinking like that's going to be hard for me to choose between, new version of Remy.
Yeah.
This and Cosmic Rewind. Like,
right.
What do I do? So, I mean, we're probably going to do 3 days in Epcot. We're toying about where we're staying. Right now, we're staying at the Poly. But my son
option was Boardwalk?
Boardwalk. And my son has made it very clear that we must stay at the Poly at least half the trip. He was like, I asked him yesterday, I said, so what would you want to do? Would you want to, where would you, between Boardwalk and Beach Club, where would you want to stay? He's like, well, Beach Club is cool, and I'd love it, and I think it's a better resort. But Boardwalk gets that check off the list of like places we haven't stayed.
I know, me too.
And I was like, true. I said, I agree with you. And I said, plus it's closer to Hollywood Studios than Beach Club. And his comment was, well, I don't want to stay there the whole time though. I was like, oh, so you definitely want to do a split stay. He's like, either we stay the whole time at Poly or we do a split stay.
Yeah, I don't think you've done a split stay before.
We haven't, and we typically wouldn't just because it can get to be a pain with points and not like with dealing with the points, but it's just finding the days that work isn't always the easiest. So the way it works with booking stuff makes it a little bit difficult at times. That's the main thing. For
listeners, we did it one time. The time we went down with Nick and his family, our families went down together. If you're a new listener, we went together at some point. We'll have to again at some point too. But when we went down, we stayed at the Poly for 6 days, probably something like that.
7 nights.
And we wanted to extend our trip a little bit more. Nick had to come back because you had soccer tickets, I believe. And was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we wanted to stay a little bit longer, and we wanted to also try another new resort. So we got to check 2 of them off our list on this trip, and then we went over to Port Orleans, and we stayed in Port Orleans for a couple of days, and ran into a coworker. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they were staying there too. Yeah. Anyway, I know that was a longer conversation for news, but it's something that is really good. And yet, are we being critical? Sure, but we're saying here's something good. Let's elaborate more and let's
do it more.
Let's
do it more. Yes, 100%.
So we're happy with this. I don't want it to come across as
no.
I know. We discussed so many different. We went so many different directions with it, but the point is, we love it. Let's see more of this, Disney.
Yeah.
We know you listen.
Yeah. I hope they listen.
Well,
So we're going to head off to the halftime show, which is brought to you this and every week by our patrons. We've been growing on Patreon. That's great. And you can even join for free. Just join the discussion for free. It's a lot of fun. We're over there in like chat groups and stuff. And if you do join at the Jungle Skipper level, you can get a free mug after 3 months.
I don't even have one of those. I need one of those.
No, we would have to be patrons to get one. So after 3 months, you get a free mug, and then also you get early access to new episodes plus bonus content because we record a second episode every week. But we're going to have the halftime show, and we'll see you right after this. Welcome back. This half of the show, we're going to discuss our top 5 things we want to see in Villains Land. I thought about putting Patrick Mahomes in there.
Bills aren't playing them this week.
Yeah, that's true. That's next week.
That's very soon, though.
Yes. Maybe Tom Brady. He will always be a villain.
Always a villain.
Yes.
Like, I think he does an okay job with his commentating, and I don't hate him as much. But like he's the villain of anyone who's listening who's a Dolphins fan, Bills fan, Jets fan.
You know why I know he's a villain? Nobody is that old and looks that good. He's like he's got to inject himself with some sort of serum. Yeah. He is Mother Gothel, but in male form.
I mean, you look at Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers looks good, but he still looks old.
Still looks like he's 42.
Yeah.
Not Tom Brady.
I think Tom Brady. Yeah. So I'm the same age as Tom Brady and John Cena. So,
yeah, they're both villains.
I don't wonder what his birthday is.
So anyway, we're going to talk about our top 5 things we want to see in Villains Land.
Okay. And this, sorry.
Go ahead.
I got excited there.
Go ahead.
So I want to just say this isn't all just like rides and
no,
whatnot.
I have a couple things that aren't rides, 3 things.
I want to start with a big one for me. And this one is very important. And I'll start over in Hollywood Studios first. In Hollywood Studios, we got this brand new Batuu, right? This Star Wars land.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite attractions, and my second favorite attraction out of the 3, is located kind of a stone's throw away, okay? I don't know if I could hit it with a football or a baseball. It's not that far, but it's not connected.
You're not Uncle Rico.
No. I could throw a football over them mountains. Napoleon Dynamite reference. Love that movie, by the way. So, anyway... So my number 5 is I want Haunted Mansion to seamlessly connect with the rest of Villains Land.
I agree. Yeah.
It is possible, but also I could see them because it's kind of going to be right next to Piston Peak. They're not going to be moving it. Piston Peak is going to be right to the east side there. But I hope that they redo that area enough so that there is areas somewhere where you can pass through on the left, a tunnel, I don't know. Somehow, if you've been, I'm assuming if you're listening, you've ridden the Haunted Mansion before. Think about how there's really nothing to the left, but the rivers of America are very wide.
But the rivers of America is gone,
right?
So they can put something there. This is
in the concept art. They had some.
Listen, I don't think this is possible. I think it's probable.
Okay, good, because I was really hoping for that too. Do I need the sign to be before Haunted Mansion? No, I don't think so. Like the sign above, Adventureland for Villains Land, if that's what they're going to call it. I just need that to be part of it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's it is hands down, no one's going to argue, one of the most popular franchises, best-selling. People just love the Haunted Mansion, not just myself, but it's very, very popular, right? Their merch sells like crazy.
I agree.
That's the one thing, and I don't want to get too much on a tangent, but if you look at, if you're going to go back and forth between one of your favorites and mine is Pirates. Pirates merch doesn't always sell as well as the Haunted Mansion merch.
When movies are out, they do.
They do. That is true. But I think if you look at it, this needs to be the cornerstone of everything you're going to do moving forward because it's the OG, right? This is the original.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Okay. So
it's not a villain.
My number 5, and it's
a park
pretty
villain.
basic. I want it to be part of it and not like they have with Star Wars over in Hollywood Studios. But I think that's savable too. I think that could always be a Patreon episode, which we've discussed a little bit before on how to connect all of the different Star Wars properties. But my number 5, seamlessly connect, make sure it all comes together with Haunted Mansion and Villains Land. What do you have?
My number 5, you sort of touched on almost. You said that there's a lot of merch that's sold with Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
And what I want to see is villains themed shopping, but I'm very specific about this, okay? Because like obviously they're going to have shops in there, right? They're going to have something to buy stuff. I want them to go along the lines of the new school type of shops. Think like more Universal style, like with like Ollivander's wand shop and stuff like that. I want an immersive shopping experience within Villains Land.
Cool idea.
I want buildings that look like they're from a villain's area. I want there to be some sort of immersion. And Disney's done this, right? We've got, we've got the droid building. We've got the lightsaber building. I don't need it that immersive, but I'm thinking like something that is a little bit more immersive than Main Street USA, walking in the Emporium.
Well, and then maybe it's not even to the point where we go back to Batuu and Galaxy's Edge again, where there's 2 different merch experiences that you have to book.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not saying that.
It's not like build a lightsaber or build a droid, but how can you make that interactive?
I want somewhere between that level of theming, which is like expensive, and you have to pay for the people who are acting, but they're actually selling you a product, and maybe something more like when you go into Memento Mori, right? Clearly, it's the shop that you're going to get your Haunted Mansion stuff in.
It's too small, by the way.
It is very small. But like, it's not like you're going in somewhere that's highly themed. When you go into the what's the name of the shop? Is it Christmas Tree something? Christmas something? There's the Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's right. Christmas Tree Shop's the store, but it's in Liberty Square.
Yeah. When you walk in there, it's themed to that time era.
It's beautiful.
It's not highly themed.
No, it's Christmas, but
I want
not too Christmas.
I want somewhere between the two of like, was it Savi's Workshop? Somewhere between that and those. I want somewhere that's a bit more immersive, but it's not like a special ticketed event to go and do.
Can I build on that a little bit? Because I love your idea.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Ollivander's wand shop before?
I have. The one in Islands of Adventure I have.
Okay. Yeah. So the one that we went to was actually in Universal Studios, Florida. And my kids loved it. They were younger at that time. They were, I don't know, my daughter was probably your daughter's age at the time. And we went in. It was an immersive experience inside with the wand shop. But this is what I want to build upon. Think about even Main Street USA, where they used to have some of those interactive things in the window fronts.
I agree.
Maybe you come right out. Maybe you get, who knows what it is. It could be anything. I don't. I'm just spitballing here. Let's just say it's some type of bracelet.
They've done it in Magic Kingdom before because they had those cards. I forget what they were called, but they had the cards.
Oh yeah, and they got rid of that a couple years ago.
But they've done stuff like that.
Let's say it's a magic band. It should be something else, but let's just use it for argument's sake because we know it has the chip inside. You buy your magic band inside and you come out, and then right outside the shop, 4 or 5 different interactive elements that kids can do. They get excited. Yeah. For the money that they put into these interactive areas, Disney would make so much profit off of whichever. It could be a magic band if it was themed in like thorns or something,
Yeah, it could be. 100%.
Could be kind of cool like that.
Yeah, so that's my number 5.
My number 4, I actually brought up because I was so excited when you first came in before we started recording. I just loved this idea. If you're watching this on YouTube, Nick's shirt today, he's wearing this Darth Vader shirt. And I just thought, when I was going through this, I'm like, who do I think is like one of the scariest, best villains that Disney has? So I started going through all the movies. I started with kind of the 90s Disney's movies, went to Pixar, and then I went, who would be the greatest villain that we should have as a restaurant, okay, is just Darth Vader. Have something Star Wars in that area. If it's Villain's Land, they're all intermixed anyways. It doesn't matter timelines. None of that matters.
Well, we don't know how they're...
All the villains are together.
To be fair, we don't know how they're going about this Villain's Land. But if it is truly Villain's Land, like all the villains, if that's what they're doing, then you have to look at Darth Vader as probably being the most villainous of all the Disney villains.
And very easy to have someone put that costume on.
I would say he's followed closely by the hunter from Bambi. Sorry.
They were in my backyard yesterday.
Were they?
Like 100 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're always in my backyard
That's
too.
the story for another time. But
you have city deer, though.
So think about if you're walking through Villain's Land, and listeners, the place where Darth Vader lives is like this castle.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend too much time describing it, but it's on a planet that's really dark and there's a lot of lava everywhere.
Yeah.
So if they could somehow create, Imagineers have like a building where there's something that looks similar to lava, I mean, it would just be such a cool experience, a dining experience where Vader walks through no matter what. Every 15 minutes, Vader walks through.
It would definitely have to be a complete left turn from Disney, from the way they've themed lands in the past.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they do it because they got so much flack over Batu.
Yes.
That maybe they say, nope, we're just going to do IP based like sectors within the land.
Yeah.
That could totally happen.
Yeah. I don't know. That's obviously this is a wish list for me. So that's my number 4. What do you have?
My number 4 is a specific dark ride that I want. I want a Cruella de Vil dark ride.
Oh.
Cruella de Vil might actually, in the animated films, might be the worst villain. What is worse than somebody who wants to kidnap and kill puppies to harvest their fur? I mean,
you're not wrong.
This is like the level of
evil
that woman has to be, right? So I want one where the ride vehicle is her like buggy, whatever, or not buggy. Jeez, I'm thinking Haunted Mansion, but it's a
Bentley
it's a Coupe de Ville.
It's a Coupe de Ville.
So Cruella de Vil, I believe. But like I want,
okay.
I want that. Like I want a dark ride where you're chasing through the streets, right? And it can be a little bit more thrilling than a typical dark ride.
Sure.
You can move those. I mean, in Rise of the Resistance, those trackless ride vehicles move a little quicker than they do, say, in Remy.
Yeah.
So you could make that move a little bit quicker. It could be, I don't want it heavily screen based, but it could be screens as well as animatronics in there. That is a franchise that does not get enough love when you think about villains, she gets love because people agree that she's way up there for a villain. So my number 4 is a Cruella de Vil dark ride. I think it would be amazing. She gets a lot of love on like the Halloween parties and stuff like that. I think it'd be fun.
So I have a very similar one for my next one here.
Okay, go ahead.
It is, I'm just calling it Villain's World Dark Ride, and it's kind of take your idea. I think yours sounds fun because I like the slight thrill of having it move quickly.
Yep.
Mine, in my mind, was much slower. It was similar to any of your typical dark rides like Haunted Mansion or Little Mermaid, but the purpose of this one is to check as many boxes as they can, where between each one, you're jumping between movie to movie to movie. And they add, so you would start off, we'll skip Cruella because you already did that one. But let's say you're starting off in Alice in Wonderland and you're coming in and it's the Queen of Hearts. And there's always in every big room. So let's say there's 6 or 7 big rooms, right? In each room, there's one advanced audio animatronic, like the one of Ursula. We're not going to redo Ursula. She already exists. So there's an advanced audio animatronic, and either they build an environment, which is like a physical environment, or like what you said with the projection. But I think every room will focus on a different character. There's usually a song to go with them. And we've always said there's not enough Lion King. Scar is another one of those really evil villains.
Yes.
You know, if we did top 5 villains, they'd be in there. I mean, he literally kills
his brother.
He does.
And then tells his son tells his nephew it was his fault.
Evil.
Yeah.
Evil.
Yeah, 100%.
So the next room you go in, it's dark and there's bones and the hyenas are there, and then you have Scar and Be Prepared comes on, you know. Then you go to the next room, so then it's Aladdin and you have Jafar there, and
Cave of
Jafar
Wonders or
has a
something.
song. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think that would be great because if it's villains plural, we want to cover as many as we can. That ride would cover quite a few of them. Now, in reality, both of our rides could actually exist. Because if yours is a slower coaster ride or a trackless ride that moves faster, both of those things are different enough that you could actually have both.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, hear me out. What if it's one of the descendants of the villain who has collected them all together to live together in oh no, sorry. That's Epic Universe. My bad. Sorry. All right, my number 3.
Isn't that also the TV show, The Descendants?
Oh
on
yeah, it is.
Disney?
When I said Descendants, I wasn't thinking of
That's
that.
what I thought you meant.
No, I meant
then
it.
I got the reference of Epic Universe. Yeah.
So my number 3 is just something I truly want in the whole park. But if they're going to do this right, please. Villains Land has to have walk around characters.
Yes.
That's my number 3. Walk around characters need to happen in Villains Land. I want to see Jafar walking by. I want to see, you said Vader. Sure, Vader walks by.
Yeah.
I want to see now. It would be absolutely amazing if this happened, but like the Ursula, like the one that wheels by.
Man, that would
if
be
that
cool.
was like regularly there, I want to see Cruella. I want to see the Evil Queen. I want to see Mother Gothel. Like have these characters walk around.
And the reason that works so well,
Sid
you're
from Toy Story.
absolutely right.
Sid from Toy Story just walking around angry, popping heads off of dolls.
Think about Kylo Ren and the troopers when they're walking around.
Yeah.
Like, they don't pose for pictures for you
They
because
just
they're
go.
bad guys. They go through and everyone is like, oh, there they are. Since they're bad guys, it's much easier.
To be a jerk and just say no.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or just not say anything at all and just kind of like laugh and cast a spell.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that works perfectly.
I think it'd be so great to
It
have
would be.
walk around villains. I don't know if the walk around villains need to be. I don't think they need to be necessarily like the face characters, but I think that'd be really cool if they were face characters instead of being the I don't know what you mean, the full costumes,
The
like
full mask.
the mask costumes.
But there's a few that could be either way. I mean, if you look at Facilier, for example, he could just be like a taller person.
Well,
but
in
you
the
could also
parade,
do
he
his
is. I mean, the
mask.
parade,
Right.
So, but
My point is that particular character, or like Jafar, could go either way too. But I mean, I like the cartoon mask.
yeah, and who knows?
like
Maybe
those.
even Gaston moves over there. I know he's already over at his tavern, but maybe he moves over there. Well, yeah, my number 3 is walk around villains. So.
Gaston is always played by a live character.
Yes,
but you
yeah.
could do a plastic head on him too.
Yeah,
I don't know, plastic head. That's not the right term. You know what I mean.
I do. Yeah. So number 3, walk around villains.
My number 2 is a super easy one and doesn't really have a lot of discussion. My most recent trip, I saw the Villains show, and I think we just need copy paste. I think it was so well done that we just need to take what already exists over in Hollywood Studios and build whichever similar size auditorium. It was fairly big in there. I thought it was decent sized. You just place that somewhere. It doesn't have a huge footprint. Big one, but not huge. It eats a lot of people during the day. I thought the show was a lot of fun. I think that's a really easy way to add in additional entertainment. You're inside in the air conditioning, which is always a good thing when you're thinking of Orlando. So I don't have a ton to say other than I really enjoyed the show, and I think it was so good that it just needs to be continued and brought to Magic Kingdom.
I think this is the first one on your list that's like guarantee you'll see.
Okay, I hope so.
I think the whole point of doing what they're doing in Hollywood Studios was a test pilot. Was a test run. So I think you're right.
Do you think, let's build on that then, do you think when they did the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, do you think that will end up in the Cars area too?
I don't think so. I don't think that was as popular.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Among young kids, maybe it was, but like I don't know.
I don't know if people knew it even existed.
Yeah.
I mean, we do a Disney podcast,
Yeah,
but
true.
do you think the average person coming in knows that that's there?
And they might not.
They might not.
Yeah, that's true. My number 2 is character dining, but character dining done a little bit differently. So this character dining, I would like to see the meals based off of like the different types of villains. So like for instance, like you'd have a Greek dish, Hades, right? Hades something or other.
Cool.
Like I think that they could do this in a manner that would open it up, kind of like when you go to Jungle Skipper. Like the food is very eclectic. There's not really one straight theme. You have the it tastes like chicken because it is dish that's just basically roasted chicken.
Yeah.
And then you've got spicy noodles, and then you've also got like some Thai dishes sometimes, and you've got some Indian inspired dishes. You have Brazilian cheese bread there. So like it doesn't need to stay true to one food style. And if you do it themed to like have dishes that are themed to villains.
Oh, I got a good one.
Like, you've got apple pie from, for
Make
the evil
it green.
queen.
Make it green, poison apple.
Yeah, poison apple.
I got such a good one. I'm so
that?
excited
Go
to
ahead.
say this.
Go ahead.
For Gaston, you have a giant steak and a dozen eggs cooked your way, right?
I don't know if I'd want to.
Steak and eggs.
Maybe,
Come on.
maybe a dozen quail eggs. I don't think I could eat a dozen eggs. Oh man. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like you could definitely do something like that.
Awesome.
So character dining, I think, needs to happen there. There's a couple reasons. One, the dining in Magic Kingdom isn't the greatest, if we're being honest. The sit-down dining's okay. I would put it at okay.
I would say their best sit-down restaurant, in my opinion, and maybe it's yours too, is Skipper Canteen. But it's still not like high-class dining. It's just good food, restaurant.
I don't need like Be Our Guest, and I don't need Cinderella's Royal Table level stuff.
But I don't love the food there. I'm not that, and not because I'm gluten-free. In general, that's not, food is super appealing to me as like a regular old American Joe.
Which food don't you like?
Well,
where?
When you were at, what is it called? Beauty and the Beast.
Be Our
Be Our Guest. I remember it being just like a turkey sandwich.
No, that's the quick service version.
Okay.
Like they don't
do that anymore?
Well, so now
I haven't been there in like 4 years.
So they have so it used to be they had quick service breakfast and lunch, and then they had dinner, which was like two dinner, like two dining plan things. What do they call those? Whatever, doesn't matter. But 2 credits. That's it. 2 dining plan credits. It was signature dining.
Sure.
And it was like really good. Like
what was it? Like steaks?
It's really good gourmet food. That's what they've switched to for lunch and dinner now.
I need to try it again.
It's a signature dining experience. It's expensive.
There's zero chance I could get that during Christmas time, but
yes,
the time after that we could.
Yeah, and then like Cinderella's Royal Table's got good food. Their breakfast is better, I think, and probably makes more sense if you ask me. But I think you need to have something back in that Villains Land because there's not really. You have the buffets, right? And yeah, you got Tony's Town Square, but like that's like really mediocre Italian. Might as well just pour it out of the Chef Boyardee can.
I've always wanted to eat there, and maybe we will next trip.
It's just super sweet sauce from what everybody's told me.
Okay.
Like, it's not very descript. Anyway, character dining with the meals themed for villains is my number 2.
That's great.
Yeah. So that brings us to our number 1s.
Number 1.
I bet we match up somewhat.
Yeah, I think we match up somewhat.
But not 100%. I can guarantee you that.
So if you kind of know your history of the West Coast parks and you're looking at California Adventure, there was a time where they wanted to take it was called California Screamin', and it was it's kind of a hybrid wooden roller coaster, and they wanted to turn it into a villain's coaster. And that was the plan. I mean, you can Google it and see what the plans were for this villain's coaster. And then they decided at one point, I don't want to say last minute because I don't know that for a fact, they decided to switch it to The Incredibles because that whole area was going to end up being Pixar, which is great. And I love it as the Incredicoaster. But if you look at some of the concept art, it looks like way in the back they have thorns that are similar to like where when Maleficent takes over the castle in Sleeping Beauty. That's kind of what I see here. I see them taking that coaster, same or similar. It's long and it's a very exciting ride. I see them taking that and putting it in the very, very back of the property, kind of being sort of, we use that term weenie all the time, which draws you in, draws the dog to the hot dog. I see that in the very back, and I also see them putting the thorns up everywhere and theming it after Maleficent, and they're going to call it the Malefica Coaster or something like that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm assuming you're similar for this.
I'm similar, but I've never said what I'm about to say.
Okay. I'm excited to hear this.
So when you think of Disney roller coasters, and you think of like their theming, we have Space Mountain.
Yeah, which is loosely themed to space.
Okay.
Well, not loosely. They do an okay job.
You have Big Thunder Mountain.
Yep, very well themed.
We had Splash Mountain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
I
got you now.
We have Everest.
Yeah.
Let's add a mountain.
Okay, cool.
I want Bald Mountain.
Cool.
I want a Chernobog coaster because
awesome. It's a great idea.
You could build a mountain coaster with the Night on Bald Mountain playing, that theme music from that part of Fantasia with Chernobog.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chernobog's a literal like literal deity who is like evil. He is satanic. Like his whole thing is raising bad things from the dead.
Yeah, it's great.
Chernobog. I want a Chernobog coaster. And if I can't get a Chernobog coaster, you best have Chernobog somewhere in Villain's Land because there is no villain without Chernobog.
Cool. Well, you didn't mention this, and this is where I thought you were going. They've already designed Fire Mountain, which was going to be over in Adventureland.
Let's do it.
You could take that same thing and, again, copy paste. So I think both of our number ones here we're kind of taking
a thrill ride. I just want a thrill ride.
Sure,
both
of them are thrill rides, but both of them are us knowing Disney well enough to know that they don't always start from scratch. If they put all this money into the development of something, they'll kind of take that and look at it and redo it. And so many times they just copy paste a ride east to west coast or overseas, whatever.
They developed like you said, they developed the Fire Mountain.
They
didn't build it, but
they have a concept for it.
Correct.
And I don't know if the actual coaster was. Listeners, if you know the answer to this, I mean, I'll Google it in a second here, but let us know how much information you have on this too.
Could you imagine a roller coaster, super smooth roller coaster that was a quote unquote mountain with Night on Bald Mountain playing? That music
frightening.
Especially as a music nerd, and I know you are too.
Yeah.
Like
they own the rights to it.
Yeah, that would be remarkable. That'd be so cool. And it'd be borderline terrifying too, because Chernobog is an evil, evil villain. So that's my number one is a Chernobog mountain style coaster. It doesn't have to be. I don't think it's going to be, but we'll never know because I don't think that's what they're going to get. That's just what I want. I do think that they're leaning heavily toward exactly what Rob's talking about, which is the villains coaster from their original concept art over in California Adventure.
Right. And I'd be happy with either one. I just quickly Googled it here. I don't have a ton of information. It's essentially what I said already. It was developed for Adventureland. It was a volcano-themed ride. And why it never happened, it says budget cuts. And
yeah. It wasn't based on IP, which this would be.
It had something to do with Treasure Planet, too, because Treasure Planet was going to be tied to it, and then when that movie flopped, I think they were like, "Nah, we're out."
Yeah. So, I think this was a fun episode because it got us to dream about what we can get. Here's my honorable mention. Mm-hmm. I want it to just happen. I'm not convinced that they're actually gonna go through with it, and that's my honorable mention. I want it to happen.
Yeah, I know,
because I don't know.
Well. I think
we know they're moving land for Cars Land. Like, that is happening currently. But is this happening?
Well, I think it's going to happen, and I mean, it could go somewhere else. Or, again, Disney could just say, hey, we're putting it over here. We're doing a fifth gate. Or Villains Land is going to be an expansion for Animal Kingdom, which it's not, but who knows? I mean, I agree with you. We just want it to happen, period.
I read a really good blog post that somebody had made that said, why are you adding to the park that already has the most attractions?
Because of capacity, because everyone wants to go there and they need more things to eat.
But why do they want to go there? Because there's the most things to do there.
Yeah, you're just adding more things to do.
So what if you add more to Hollywood Studios? Add more to, this would fit Hollywood Studios.
I mean, it would. I mean, I'd have to look at the map. They're not landlocked, but if you look at Hollywood Studios, there is a highway on the west side, and you can't go any further. I mean, you could go over the highway, and they could move the road, but I mean, it is possible. Like, let's take where Villains Land is, right on the border of where kind of that Muppets area is going to be. You know, we wanted that theater, the Villains Theater, to become Muppet Vision, period.
Yeah. Muppet Vision 3D.
I don't
2.0.
want it to be 3D anymore.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about on Patreon.
Yeah.
But they could expand that whole area. We have to see how much is north, because also north of that, you start getting close to the different resorts, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I get why I think they're going to do it. I do think they're going to do it, but I'm not positive. You know, and until they break ground, you don't know. And who knows? They could run if this Piston Peak runs over, if that area runs over in budget, they're gonna back out. And oh, by the way, we have a new CEO coming, and depending on who it is, they might be penny pinching.
And the more I'm hearing, now that
people are vacationing less too.
You mentioned the one woman, speaking of which,
Dana.
Yes,
Dana Walden, I think it is,
who is also now being in the conversation. Because originally I said
they talked about a co-CEO,
right? I was going to say that too.
Yeah,
because it used to be just Josh,
Eisner and Wells.
Yeah,
was the last time we did that.
It could be cool. I don't know.
Could be a failure too.
That is true.
I think Eisner and Wells worked so well because, like Eisner was the forefront guy, and everybody thinks of him.
Yep.
And then in the background, kind of like Walt and Roy.
Yeah.
Kind of very similar.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. You have any honorable mentions you want to throw in?
No, the only other thing that I didn't mention that was part of it is I want it visually to be so incredibly different. Like Pavement, I don't want it to be black because it's going to absorb so much heat, but I want everything to be themed like
dirty,
dark,
dingy.
Yeah, they do a really good job with I'm always thinking of what the ground looks like. And I could just see it almost like cobblestones or something, but not perfect in a line cobblestones, all like various sizes, fitting together like a puzzle.
Almost being like purposefully asymmetric.
I'm thinking,
what I think of.
I don't know if I'm thinking almost like maybe there's cactus there with thorns. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
We'll see. We'll see what they do.
I just want to make it.
I want it to be. I do
different.
want it to be very different than everything else that's there. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a fun one. We hope that you guys will reach out and let us know what you want to see in the Villains Land if it ever comes to fruition. But it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow is just a list away.
Tune in next time, and we'll see you real soon.